Hi, it's Mrs. Pelletier again, and today I have a few books by another one of my favorite authors, and his name is Mo Willems. This book is called Knuffle Bunny, and you see this little girl right here, Trixie? She has a very special stuffed animal who she calls Knuffle Bunny. Have you ever lost a stuffed animal or lost something really special to you? That's what happens to Trixie. Trixie loses Knuffle Bunny, and we're going to read this book to find out what happens. This book actually got what we call a Caldecott Award. So Mo Willems got an award for all of the illustrations that he did in this book. And one thing that Mo Willems does, on the inside cover of many of his books, he puts pictures. And if you look really carefully, sometimes you get a clue. So take a peek at this. I'm not going to tell you what the clue is, but think about that picture as we read. And then see on the title page, says Knuffle Bunny, we see Trixie's mom and dad, they got married, and oh, there's Trixie as a baby, and now they're walking with her in a little backpack, and now you see Trixie with Knuffle Bunny. Not so long ago, before she could even speak words, Trixie went on an errand with her daddy. Do you know what an errand is? It's kind of like a short trip you take to get something or to pick something up, maybe an errand to the grocery store. So where do you think they might be going? Look carefully at the picture. Think to yourself, where might they be going? He's got some laundry. And what's interesting too is, look at this. This is a photograph. And then these are the pictures that Mo Willems drew. Trixie and her dad went down the block. See, they have a laundry basket full of clothes. Through the park. Past the school. And into the laundromat. See, it says laundromat right up there. Do you know what a laundromat is? Sometimes when people don't have a washer and a dryer in their home, they use what they call a laundromat. And a laundromat has lots of washers and dryers, and you put money in the machine and you get to clean your clothes. Trixie helped her daddy put the laundry into the machine. So here's the washing machine. Does it look like she's really helping? Talk to the person next to you about if you think she's really helping. It looks to me like she's having a little bit of fun, isn't she? And there's Knuffle Bunny right in there. That's what she calls it, even though when you really look at the word Knuffle, usually when K and N go together, you don't hear the K, but she does pronounce it like that. She even got to put the money into the machine. So see, there she's putting it in. Now look carefully at these illustrations though. Then they left. What do you notice? I'm thinking I see somebody in that washing machine. If you look really carefully, see? There's Knuffle Bunny. But a block or so later, so see now they're walking home and Trixie's happy. Trixie realized something. Look at how big Mo Willems made those words, and look at how big Mo Willems made those eyes. What do you think that Trixie realized? Talk to the person next to you, or talk to your stuffed animal, whoever's sitting with you, or just think to yourself, what do you think she realized? Trixie turned to her daddy and said, "Aggle, flaggle, clabble." You see on the first page, when we read this book, it said, not so long ago, before she could even speak words. Trixie's so little that she cannot talk. So she just looks at her daddy and says, "Aggle, flaggle, clabble." What do you think she's trying to say? "That's right," replied her daddy. "We're going home." Now look at her face. Do you think that she's saying, "We're going home"? Remember, she realized something. What did she realize? I think she's realizing she forgot Knuffle Bunny, Knuffle Bunny. Aggle, flaggle, clabble, said Trixie again. Blaggle, plabble, wumpy, flappy, snurp. What are you noticing here in this illustration? Look at what she's trying to talk. She doesn't have the words. And look at how Mo Willems, he's so clever. He makes her hat look like she has 6 arms, but really she just has 2. But by doing that, it makes it look like she's going like this. She's really moving her arms up and down. And she's speaking because we can see those speech bubbles. He likes to use speech bubbles. Now, please don't get fussy, said her daddy. Well, she had no choice. Trixie bawled. Wah! She went boneless. Let's think about that word bald. What does it mean? Look at the picture. If somebody says that somebody's bawling, that means that they're crying really hard. Look at her. And then when it says she went boneless, you know how when you have bones, you're standing up tall and straight? Well, she's slumping over almost like she has no bones. Look at her. She is so upset. She can't communicate to her daddy. She did everything she could to show how unhappy she was. Oh boy, there are those arms again. By the time they got home, her daddy was unhappy too. Look at his face. Mo Willems tells us exactly how his characters are feeling just by looking carefully at their faces. Now they're going up to the house, to the apartment. As soon as Trixie's mommy opened the door, she asked, "Where's Knuffle Bunny?" And look at Trixie's face. She's almost looking at her daddy like, "I told you. That's what I was trying to tell you." Kind of like, you didn't listen to me. And then look at Dad's face. How does he feel right now? Probably a little bit worried, right? We hope that Knuffle Bunny's still there. The whole family ran down the block, and they ran through the park. Look at how quickly they're going. They zoomed past the school and into the laundromat. Oh, let's hope that she's still in there. Trixie's daddy looked for Knuffle Bunny and looked and looked and looked. Look at it. It's like the words start this size and get smaller and smaller. He's not finding it, Knuffle Bunny. But Knuffle Bunny was nowhere to be found. Ugh, look at her face. And see, even his lips, all he did was make a little squiggly line, and it looks like she's about to cry, doesn't it? So Trixie's daddy decided to look harder. Okay, let's see if he can get it. Until Knuffle Bunny. Look really carefully at what's in that speech bubble. She couldn't talk before, but look at what happened here. Knuffle Bunny. And those were the first words Trixie ever said. Doesn't that make it special? And there's her Knuffle Bunny. Okay. I meant to bring my daughter's Knuffle Bunny. She has one. And one thing that you might want to do at home is maybe take your stuffed animal and you could play hide and seek with maybe somebody else in your family. You could hide and then your parents could try to find, or your grandparents, or whoever you're living with, your cousins, or your brothers and your sisters. And let's think back. Do you see how Mo Willems gave us a little bit of a clue? He showed the front of the washing machine and Knuffle Bunny's in it. So if you were reading along and you didn't see it, he gives you a clue right here that that's going to happen in the story. Okay? And then I just want to ask you one more thing. How does she act before she lost Knuffle Bunny? She's just walking along. Let's look at her face. She's pretty happy, isn't she? And then she changes. Trixie's mood changes when she realizes something, right? And again, let's look at what Mo Willems does. He's very clever. He made those words bigger. See the letters in those words? Trixie realized something. This is important. So he makes the letters a little bit bigger. He has all of these neat techniques, okay? So I took a minute. We've been talking about a lot of the things that we noticed in Knuffle Bunny. Let's look over here, and I wrote down some of the things that we were talking about. We noticed that Mo Willems uses both photographs and cartoons. And you know that the photographs I was reading are from Brooklyn, New York. So when he took this picture with a camera, he put it in and it's black and white, but then all the colorful parts of the cartoons he drew. And then he draws details in his characters' faces to show how they're feeling, right? We saw lots of places where Mo Willems does that, especially like on this page. She realized something. Her eyes got really big, right? And look at, you can see the sad face. And then she's starting to talk. And again, she's sad and she's worried. And then this one right here. And he draws lines to show motion. And we saw that when he did this with the arms. You can see little lines, and he drew multiple arms. And then even here too, you can see these little lines. So that's something, when you draw your pictures at home, you could think if you want to make people look a certain way, you can use lines to make their smile or their frowns, and then you can also use lines to show motion. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed Knuffle Bunny. It's one of my favorites.